Hi friends, in this video we will discuss about nanotechnology. So what is nanotechnology? Imagine something which is 1 billionth of 1 meter. Now can you imagine that? What will be the size of that particle? Now physicists across the world, what was happening is um, there was a Newtonian mechanics. Isaac Newton studied about the laws of motion and about physics uh, for things which were visible from our naked eyes. So for them, all these properties were working. However, out of curiosity, there were so many things which were happening in the labs of United States of America, in England. There was birth of scientists like Albert Einstein, who started working on theory of relativity. Uh, then things came like theory of singularity, but there were people like there were scientists like Heisenberg, who started visualizing extremely small particles. And when they started visualizing extremely small particles, they found that their properties are different. They are behaving in a different manner. They are not following Newtonian mechanics. And then there is a birth. Then the birth of quantum mechanics takes place, and everything which you are seeing, right from the semiconductor to the atom bomb, it is all about quantum mechanics. You would have watched the movie Oppenheimer. So he was also sort of applying quantum mechanics, and there were many other scientists like Taylor. So Taylor was the one who worked for the nuclear fusion. For everything which is extremely tiny, we will follow quantum mechanics. So nanotechnology is exploiting those advantages that a particle showcase when they are extremely tiny, and we will read about all of this in the coming slides. Now we will first understand quantum behavior. So at the nanoscale, the rules of classical physics, which was given by Sir Isaac Newton, no longer apply, and quantum mechanics govern the behavior of material. We will understand another concept that as objects shrink, their surface area becomes proportionately larger. जैसे ही object will become smaller and smaller, their surface area will become in proportion higher. When their surface area will become bigger in proportion to the size, it will dramatically affect the properties like reactivity of that material, conductivity of that material. That is why they are more reactive, they have more conductivity. Okay. Also, nanoparticles can interact with light, and that too in novel ways, not like the bigger materials which we can see from eyes, leading to color changes, fluorescence, and enhanced light absorption. They can absorb light more than the microparticles, macroparticles, nanoparticles have more ability to absorb light. Now, what are its application? The one of the foremost application of nanotechnology is in medicine. Why? Because with the use of nanotechnology, we can utilize the uh, unique properties, and it will help us in better diagnostic, in better targeted drug delivery, or even in tissue regeneration. So what it can revolutionize the whole disease treatment and health industry, because it can enhance the way we cure diseases, the way we detect diseases, and all of the things like genetic disorders or cell related diseases like cancer. Everything can be treated in a better manner with the use of nanotechnology. And if you see across the world, the front runners in science and technology, whether it is Germany, whether it is Japan, whether it is China, whether it is United States of America, whether it is United Kingdom of Great Britain, Singapore, All of them are working heavily in nanotechnology. The semiconductor IC chips are also the result of this technology, and that is why science can change the universe in a blink of eye. Think the world before the invention of electricity. Think the world. Think the world before the invention of telegraph. Think the world before the invention of computers. Think the world before one guy from United States of America, Bill Gates, started branding softwares. He was the one who started betting on softwares when everyone was working on hardwares, and his vision changed the entire world. Or think about the person behind semiconductor chips, IC chips. What could have been stored in 10 big rooms now can be stored in few inches. So the science can change the entire world in a blink of eye. And any country who is not keeping a tab on science will will automatically get underdeveloped. So to develop, any country needs scientists, scientific innovators more than any other field, more than any other field, whether it is civil services or anything. Science can change even the civil services. So science is of utmost importance. Now, in energy also, nanotechnology can revolutionize. It can make solar cells more efficient. You know why? Because it can improve the light harvesting capabilities of solar cell. It can absorb more light, so solar cells will become more efficient. It can make your batteries better. It can enhance the storage capacity. And now, when we are talking about EVs, electric vehicles, nanotechnology can play a big role in it. We can revolutionize catalytic fuels. Okay. Also in electronics, there is a huge application of nanotechnology. Whether we talk about creating smaller and more powerful electronic components such as transistor, microprocessors. We were dealing in diodes and triodes before these semiconductor chips came. And now if you talk about semiconductors, uh, there is monopoly of China, and also Taiwan is advancing in it. However, India is faring extremely behind, and when everything is dependent on semiconductors, it can really hurt our sovereignty. And that is why the current government has started taking steps. Tata has started taking steps, because if we will not take step now, everything will be governed by the ICT in the time to come. These things will expand. In science, there is no looking back. Can you go now and live without electricity? In science, everything advances. We do not go behind. There is no backtracking in science and technology. Okay, and all of these things, like we should live in a sustainable manner, so we should live in a rock. No, to make environment also better, the answer lies in science, not anywhere else. The world can be made better also with the use of science, and can be destroyed also with the use of science. So it's up to the person who is utilizing it. It can enhance speed. Now you can see, now the things are moving at a very fast rate, the processing, the transmission. If you see the supercomputers, now they are working on quantum technology. In a conventional computers, things can be either 0 or 1, but in quantum there is superimposition. Things can be simultaneously 1 and also 0. Now this property can drastically change the computing. Now what is done by thousands of computer through servers can be done by a single supercomputer. They can work in the capacity of pentaflops. And that is why supercomputer is important, because everything you are doing is getting stored in the servers. And if you have supercomputers, your servers will be efficient. You can store gigabytes, terabyte, uh, high amount of and high quality of data. And data is the new oil. So everything is going to the technology. One cannot become a developed nation with the use of agriculture, with the use of government services. One has to invest in technology. One has to invest in research and development, and India has to invest in R&D as soon as possible. Private sector has to also come. Otherwise, country will face more issues in the future. It can make electronics energy efficient. It can have things like novel displays because it enhances brightness and contrast and color accuracy. Everything gets enhanced. What are the properties? Again, I am telling you, giving a recap that they enhances strength, flexibility is more, conductivity is more, whether it is thermal or electrical, and nanoparticles can also act as powerful catalyst, and it can accelerate chemical reactions. So if anything which we are making, say for example we are making polymers, okay, so in, or making fertilizers, or making paints, or making anything, pesticides, in that we need catalyst. Now who can improve that? Nanotechnology. What can improve that? Nanotechnology. So this is the power of nanotechnology, this is the power of science, and this is the power of physics. Okay, and that is why there is a lot of research going on. Still the theories of Albert Einstein, people are working on it, and lots of scientists of India, who are born of India, NRIs, or became the US citizens, are working in the United States of America on cutting edge technology, on artificial intelligence, on nanotechnology. So all these things are happening. So it's time that we recognize that in the new era, science is new religion. Take care. Best wishes. Hope. Hopefully, it will help you, and be positive.